Hi there, you're at the Polkadot Wyckoff session, so we'll quickly look at both weekly and daily charts and see where Polkadot is at the moment and where it's heading to. So, in this weekly chart, previously we already shared we're somewhere in the middle or late stage of an accumulation cycle. It passed a very deep test and currently is still above this upward trend, this yellow slope over here, and you can see not too long from now is actually forming a triangle with the resistance line at around $5.20 roughly. So that's why I said in the title, is it going to head to 520 and not beyond? Because if it's really finishing its accumulation cycle, what we're going to expect is a new distribution cycle happening, right? So if that's the case, then it wouldn't stop there. However, if we look at the past records, after a sign of strength, these retracements follows, much like what we've seen over the past few weeks, especially during May-June time. The current climb, this current leg up, if we look at what happened in 2023, also in summertime, there was another leg of retracement. That's where the spring happened. So there's still a chance for this to go lower than what we've seen back in mid-June. So mid-June was already very low, so it's a level that we've only seen in 2020, so like over 5 years ago. Here, if a spring does happen, the positive side is if the project is still going healthily, that's very basic fundamental, no problem with it, like the adoption or that going forward, then in the long run we can still hope for distribution to happen, even though like these two distribution cycles both stopped at like or below $12 basically. So after it gone through $11, basically it lost steam and then the decline happens. So this time, this build up, this accumulation cycle is longer than what happened in 2024. So since February this year, currently in July, and it's still not over yet. So from the selling climax to where we're now, it's already 161 days. Last time, the whole build-up was only 84 days, so much less momentum gathered. So this time, maybe it will gather a little bit more strength for the climb. So let's quickly look at the daily as well. So here in the daily, this downward trend has been over, but we'll keep it for another week. Here, we've seen the sign of strength, we talked about it, and after the sign of strength, there was a little bit of track back, a shorter one than what happened in late April, early May. And then what we're hoping to see is a buying climax. So whether it can retest the line here, this yellow line, at around $5.20, so that's where probably the bulls are hoping for, and it's also a pretty strong resistance line because of the previous buying climax in May, as well as this preliminary support period back in February to early March. So almost an entire month, well actually it's full month over there. The price has been suppressed under this line around 520. So this is a very, very strong resistance. As of this moment, yeah, it is a bit of upward trend, but if we look at the volume, it's less than what we have seen last week, back in July 10th and 11th. So hopefully this momentum will continue and we can see a retest at 520. Then next week when we come back, we can talk about, okay, what's next after buying climax, right? So there may be retracement and then a retest, also heading towards the 520 level. We'll see whether we can draw a trend box and see where the dynamic resistance would be. So that's for Polkadot. See you.